All right, there we go. All right, thanks everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Art in the Morning, and we're doing some little different segments here of different projects so that they're recorded separately. So the next thing I want to show is my newest color book. I told myself, if you're going to collect color books, let's collect them like one a week, not in bundles of 5 or whatever. Now, if you are like Colleen or Paula and you order off Amazon and get a bundle of 5 or 10 at a time, it's okay. Don't email me, people. Not that they would, but I tease them because I think Colleen has the greatest color book collection so far of anybody, but I haven't seen one of her shows for a while, so maybe she's even got more. So I decided that I'm only going to try my best to get one a week and be very selective and more discerning. We're going to be a color book connoisseur. And yeah, Angie Bell, my fairy treasure, she goes, I hear you, sister. She's another one. I think she buys in bulk. She even got the HSN Anna Griffin one. I saw that video. So if y'all want to see the inside of the Anna Griffin HSN color book, it comes with a color book and 2 smaller books, then go head over to My Fairy Treasures, Angie Bell. She's bad. She's right up there with Eileen in the enabling section of the room. Yep, she is. Okay, so I got the Doodlers Anonymous Epic Coloring Book. Now, Doodlers Anonymous, they have had a blog for I don't know how long. I've had my blog for 10 years, and it's not like it's not like a writing blog. I've had my blog for 10 years, and basically I'll update it every couple weeks with the last couple weeks worth of art that I've done. I don't really write on my blog. It's just more of a photog blog, and so it's not like people flock over there or anything, but I'm proud to have had it for 10 years. Well, Doodlers Anonymous is one of those people that I have followed forever, their blog. So check out their blog too. But they've done color books and things for a long, long time. But this is the first time that I know of that they've actually had their books in the bookstores. So when I saw this in Books A Million, I had already bought my week's quota. I think I bought 2 that week. I'd already bought my week's quota for, so I said, well, I'm going to come back next weekend, which was this past weekend, and get this one. It is so fun because it is by multi-artists, kind of like, some of the other books that I've shown you that were like color books, like from the museum and stuff like that. But this is all doodler artists that doodle and do cool black and, well, they do other things too, but they're great at doodling in particular. And their name is on each page. And one of the things I like about the book, I'm just going to kind of do a little like review here. I'm petting it, people. Yes, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, they all carry color books. But the bookstores have more, and of course Amazon is going to be having all kinds of ones that are on, pre-order and stuff like that. But I was so happy when I saw Doodlers Anonymous in Books A Million. Now, I haven't checked to see if it's at Barnes & Noble, but it was at my Books A Million, which is the closest of the 2 bookstores to me. It is a good size book. Let me give you some of the deets. Let me find a ruler. It is 8.5 by 11. Now, one of the things I really appreciate about this book, okay, it's not overly expensive. It's $15.95. It's got a write-up on how the artist and what they did and how both there and on the inside. In the preface and, One of the things that I really, really like about it, though, is the thickness of the pages. It's thicker than most of your color books. It's thicker, I think. Let me compare it to the Celtic one. Hang on. I think this would be the most comparable in page weight, paper weight to it. Let me check. Nope, it's even thicker than that. This was the thickest paper that I had found in any color book was in these Art Therapy Celtic ones. These are $20. These are not, because it's hardback. This is even a little thicker. I can't tell you the exact weight. It feels like maybe 90. I don't know. This might be, I don't know. It's not 110. Listen to us. Okay, let's see. It's not 110. It's maybe 90. I don't know. But it's thicker. And what is nice about that, even though it is a double, I mean, it's not, you have to, it's front and back. So, you know, if you wanted to like frame one or something, you'd have to like make a copy of one. You can't just tear it out and use one. You'd have to use one or the other. But it doesn't go through with Neo colors or what did not, barely wrinkle. This is the only page I've done so far. I think I've colored a couple of balloons on another one. Yes, I am recording. Thank you for asking, Vicki. It does not wrinkle. Now, again, it doesn't bother me like in the Anamorphia book. It does wrinkle when you get a whole page full of water on it because the animals are so big in that. That doesn't bother me that it wrinkles because by the time I get a layer of color pencil and everything done, you don't really notice the wrinkles, but that's just me. Okay, but this is so thick, it didn't go through at all, at all. Now, can you use Copics on this? Probably not, okay? I don't have any Copics to test it out. We could maybe test a Sharpie or something. But, so I'm not saying that you can use full-on alcohol-based markers in this, okay? But I use my Neo colors and water, my water brush, and I can't hardly feel any wrinkle at all, okay? So your Neos are going to be there today, Janet? Okay. So I thought what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and maybe do a little base coat coloring with my Neo colors. Again, if I don't get to the stage where I color pencil, we'll see how far I get or if I do sections or what. Always make sure, no matter the paper, thick quality or whatever, make sure if you use watercolor, wet, medium, of any kind, and if you want to check back on my last video where I showed the charts where we did, you know, the markers, the Neo colors, the ink tints, we did a little chart for, you know, how each one reacts when you go over it with the color pencil. You've got to make sure it's dry. I cannot overstress that enough. Make sure if you use any kind of wet medium as you're under, whether it's acrylic, paint, watercolor, whatever it is, make sure it is dry before you start coloring and shading with color pencils. Okay, so I do have pictures of this close-up with all the colors, the Neo colors I used, and all the color pencils that I used. So if you just want to see the extent, probably, you know, 8 to 10 of each. There's probably 8 to 10 and of matching colors of the Neo Color 2 and the Prismacolor pencils to shade with. Also want to stress again that Neo Color 2s are the water soluble. Let me show you the thing here. Let me show you the cover. Neo Color 2 water soluble. And most of us here in the chat know that, but I just want to stress it again. If you've not ever used any of the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 1 or 2, the Neo Color 1 are wax based and they are not water soluble. And because they're wax based, you're not going to be able to shade color pencil over a wax crayon. Like I showed you what happened when you try to go over just a regular Crayola crayon with a color pencil. You can't. You're trying to shade over wax. So the Neo Color 2s are water soluble, so it like puts down a layer of like watercolor, which can be shaded over. Okay? Oh, and I just saw Blondie here. I wanted to, I don't know if Zandra's here, but let me go ahead and put on the recording. Blondie, so appreciated getting one of your cards, Zandra. She said, please tell Zandra how much I loved her card. Well, this is the first time I've seen Blondie since I saw her message, and Zandra, if she's still here. So I just want to pass that on, Zandra, that Blondie loved your card. She had to email me a whole thing on it because she loved it so much. So just FYI. Okay, so, and again, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a live show with live people. Like, we got, 60 some odd people here, and it's a live chat. And so if you're welcome to join us, Coffee and Art in the Morning, and come over. I'm at least here every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then sometimes impromptus. But if you follow me on Ustream, you should most times get an email alert when I go live. If you if you click that option. Okay, so anyway, back to the Neocolor 2s. There are more than these 84 colors. I think Carrie has 120, 130 something set. I forget how many total they make. I'll never outuse these, just this many. And so anyway, they are highly concentrated, water-soluble crayons, and I've had them it'll be 2 years, I think, in February. I got them for my birthday 2 years ago. I try to kind of keep them sort of in color family, kind of close anyway, so I can pick them up real quick. If I need a pink or, whatever, I don't have to dig around for it. And that's how I do my color pencils, too. I do my color pencils, like here's the blue grays. I keep them, in bundles by color family. And so then if I want a color, I just, pick through here and find the, it's easier to do it if you have them in bundles like this. Here's my greens like this. It's easier to find the colors like this than to have it just all loose in something where it's hard to find them. But that's just me. That's just the way I organize, right, Miss Anita? Oh, she had to leave? Okay. Thanks, Vicki. So anyway, I wanted to do maybe some Neocolor washes as an underpainting, like I did here, and then I go back in and shade with color pencils. And again, this is all close up in the in my Facebook color book album and in my Instagram and Twitter. But let's go back a little bit to read a little bit more about the book again. Doodlers Anonymous, again, they have a blog. Epic coloring book. Illustrations by 90 artists. An extraordinary mashup of doodlers and drawings begging to be filled in with color. And I mean, they're just awesome. And everyone is different, because they're by different artists, so they're all different. Vicki says, I have my pencils and rubber bands like that since you showed yours. Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? Just to flip through the bundles. Travis said, do you mix different brands together by color as well? Well, if you mean like different color pencils, I've done it a little bit, but I like Prismacolor. Even though there is a problem with the breakage and the wood quality just doesn't seem to be as good as it was when it was under Beryl or Sanford. Now it's Premier. Again, people have said, well, you're sharpening it wrong. Believe me, I've tried to sharpen, not turning the pencil, turning the sharpener. I have at least 15 different pencil sharpeners. It's not the sharpener. And I know there's many other artists that have talked about Prismacolor pencil quality. And the other one that I want to try, because Kathy Cass has said that they are awesome, is the Caran d'Ache Luminesse, I think is how you say it. But they're like $5 a pencil. So have I bought a set of those? No. I do have some of the Derwent. I have a few of the other brands. But for me, I just like the softness of the Prismacolor. Now again, one of these days I'll try the Caran d'Ache Luminesse, I think is what it is, but I just haven't yet. If Caran d'Ache is watching this and you want to sponsor to test, feel free. I'll try them all out. Give you an honest review. But in the meantime, I seriously though, Kathy Cass swears by them. So yeah. So do I mix them? Usually not. If I totally ran out of a lime green and I needed lime green and I didn't have my Prismacolor, I was out of a lime, then I would have no problem doing it. But I pretty much stick with the, one thing. But you can mix things. Like I can mix watercolor with these. Now again, let me see if I can find my little chart. We did this last week, showing my Prismacolor pencils, black and white, over the top of different mediums. Nothing, you will not get the brightest white of a white, whatever kind of pencil, that you will on just acrylic craft paint. Now, I gotta say, I love my Americana craft paints. And when I went to Michael's this weekend, I said, well, you know what? I've not tested out this new Americana multi-surface satin. Now, gloss is not, this is not going to work with the gloss because it's shiny and your pencils aren't going to have the tooth. But I wanted to test this out. So I bought one. I bought one color just to test out how color pencils go over the new Americana multi-surface satin. Somebody here might have tried that already. I've not tried it. So I thought I'd do a little demo and see how color pencil goes over the new satin. All right, so anyway, what I was getting at is nothing is as bright, whatever kind of color pencil, of white. Again, Kathy swears by the Caran d'Ache Luminesse. Yeah, I have some polychromes. I do have a small set of polychromes. Just for me, they're not as soft. I like this. Some people don't, like the Prisma Verithens. They're hard pencils and they're good for tiny details. I like the softer the pencil, the better. And so far, other than not trying the Luminesse, the Prismacolor are the softest that I've tried. This does have a shine to it. Okay, so I've not tried this, Kathy, so I'm going to try that and see how, I want to test the reaction of the color pencil over the satin. Because the ones that I use now are just plain Americana flat matte, which I love for going over with color pencil. So again, I wanted to show you, here is white on top of acrylic, Nothing will give you that brightness. Not neocolors, not markers. Like here's a marker. This is just a water-soluble marker. Here's a water-soluble marker compared to acrylic paint. See the white? It's just not as vibrant. Nothing is as vibrant if you want white highlights or light color highlights, light green, light whatever, light color highlights and shading and, well, highlights as going over acrylic paint. Okay? It just, nothing is as, yeah, I know, I'm not saying that the paint's not nice. I'm sure it's an awesome paint. My question is if color pencils will blend as well on this as it does the regular Americana. Well, let me get a red one. Just the regular Americana. That's even the wrong color here. Let's try to get the closest one. Primary red. This one's lipstick red. But I wanted to see the reaction of this with color pencil. I'm sure it's an awesome paint in and of itself. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so again, we tried it on acrylic paint, just Americana matte, Neocolor 2s, markers, water-based. Okay. We did do it with a Sharpie, I think, on another piece of paper, but I don't use Sharpies, and I mean I have some, but I don't use the Copics or alcohol-based markers in my color books because they do soak through. Now I'm not saying it's going to soak through in this particular book. I haven't tried it, but this has got the thickest pages of any of the color books that I've seen so far. Okay. On just plain watercolor, that's just a kid's watercolor set. Here's a koi watercolor, the ink tints, straight from a wet pencil, and then a wash, and then on acrylic ink, and then just on plain color pencil. Again, nothing will be as vibrant with color pencil on top of any of these as matte acrylic paint. Now, I use Americana, but any kind of craft matte paint that has no shine to it will give you that great effect. Again, I bought one of these just to test it out to see how shiny or how much satin it is. I know a gloss won't, but to test it out with color pencils. Okay, so we did all this live a few days ago. All right, so back to the Doodlers Anonymous. Oh, question. Oh, no, 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 they're not soft. Okay, so Rose says that she likes the polychromes because they're not as soft. Yeah. So it just depends on what you like. What you know, everybody has their different preferences and their different techniques. Not everybody wants an underpainting under their colors before they use color pencils. You know, again, that's just the different techniques that you can try. So I did color in with just a little title page here. The other thing that I bought this weekend at Michael's, now I usually just use, let me show you. In the marker family, now I do have tons of Sharpies. I just don't use them in color books, again, because they go through the pages. I usually just use these Crayola. This is 2 sets here. Crayola bullet tip. Let me show you how they look. Markers, because you can get a tiny little fine point. You can get a fine point. Well, this one may be running out. That's why I have 2 sets. One was going, I've used it up. You can get a wide tip or wide stroke, and then you can get kind of in between. So I really like them, but the one thing I really like about them is just they're water-based. Now, they're not watercolor markers. In other words, they're not like watercolors where I can blend these like you could a Copic. They're just water-based. They're in the kids section of Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They're just called Super Tip. And they're like $10 for 50, and that's without a coupon. So they're real cheap. You can get, 50% off coupon. You can get a whole 50 of them for $5 when you have a coupon. And again, I keep them grouped. I've been using them, so they're not all bundled right now. But I do keep them in the families, just like I do color pencils. Okay, keep them bundled just because it's easier to find. All right, but these are the markers that I usually use. So when I went to Michael's, I saw over in the Recollections department, which is the Michael's brand, they had a set, here's the packaging, of 24 brush markers for $4.99. Now, let's just start this out by saying I did not have any kind of high expectation for 24 markers for $4.99. That's just regular price. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and buy them and test them out. The reason I wanted them was because of the fine tip. They have quite a few good colors. I mean, it's not, you don't have the range of shades like you do in your Neo colors, okay? But they do have a good selection of colors for 24 of them. But the reason I bought them was because of that tip. Okay, I wanted to test out these, and it even looks bigger on camera than it does in person. They're very tiny, tiny tip markers. So I wanted to go, okay, the Tombos, Colleen said that the Tombos do not go through. Okay, well, again, that might depend on the paper. Some of the color books I have really thin paper. Okay, so you got to test, always test. So basically that's what I did here. I just used some of these little $4.99, 24 pack. I think there's 2 of each color, two of the same yellow greens, and then another light yellow. Maybe a light and a dark orange and 2 reds, something like that. But anyway, there's a couple of duplicates in there. Here, I'll let you kind of see here. So it's just a pack of 24 random colors. But that's what I used here, just to test it, to see if it was going. Of course, nothing goes through this paper. This paper is nice and thick. Okay? Yeah, Vicki, I know. It's the Recollections, which is the Michael's brand. And it's over there with the Recollections stuff. That in the scrapbook section, they have doodads and, markers and stickers and things that are just by Recollections. Well, this was on an end cap. They also had some cheap pencils. I didn't even attempt those. I'm not going to change pencil brand. But anyway, so I got these just because of the tiny point that I wanted to try out on some of the tiny little areas, right? So they're water-based. These are not like your Bic Markets or your Sharpies. See, I got a drawer of those. Now, I don't have all the colors because Cam, my grandson, who just turned 16. Oh, I got to show you a picture he's working on. I haven't seen the update, but I'll show you a picture he's working on. Anyway, he uses Copics. And he saves his money, and we go to Blick. He just stands at the Copic section the whole time. He's picking out new Copics. But sometimes when he runs out of a Copic color and can't replace it, if he's at Nana's, he'll hit my Sharpie drawer. So, I don't have at one time, I think I had every Sharpie this size and the thin size as well. And all the Bic markets, which are comparable to the Sharpies. But he's allowed to come in here and take whatever he wants. So I can't even tell you what's in here, how old they are, which ones work and which one don't. See, I got 2 sets of some of them. But anyway, so I don't use Sharpies in my color books because, they go through. Okay? Let me, real quick, before I read the introduction to this, because it's my show and my grandson, I got to do a quick, no, wait, you know what, I think I'll show you the picture after I do this because I don't want my camera to get out of focus. So let me just find the picture. I'll find the picture and save it to show you shortly. I think it might be in, oh, there it is, okay. So I'm going to just save it, okay? And then after I do the book review, then I'll show you. Then I'll brag on my grandson. All right. Vicki, you're just such a card. Okay, so what I wanted to read, some of this. Of course, it's brand new. This is the first edition, just came out. And they had probably, I think in the first week I was there, a week and a half or so ago. Let me move these out of the way. A week and a half or so ago, they had maybe 10 copies. And then Saturday, they'd sold at least 2 or 3 just in a week of this. So, that I could see. All right, so let me try to, where's Rain? Rain, I'm going to read. Now, the only problem I have with reading on my show is a lot of times the writing's really little. I wear trifocals. I don't want to have to do this, although I have had to do it before. I don't want to have to read to you guys like this. All right. So, here we go. All right, Rain. We draw habitually at all hours on whatever we can get our hands on. We founded Doodlers Anonymous in 2008 to celebrate the addiction, our incessant need to draw, sketch, and doodle, be it with a pencil in a sketchbook, a marker on a napkin, a pen on a torn receipt, a Sharpie on concrete. As a permanent home for spontaneous art, Doodlers Anonymous is a modern art blog featuring a vast archive of creative inspiration, hand-drawn interviews by contemporary artists, doodle challenges and prompts, giveaways, and a catalog of art-based goods. Since its creation, Doodlers Anonymous has given exposure to thousands of up-and-coming artists and illustrators and has become an international community of like-minded creatives and art aficionados who share a love of hand drawing. The art in this coloring book was submitted through an open call for submissions from the Doodlers Anonymous community. We received over 2,500 submissions and painstakingly narrowed them down to the collection you hold in your hands. So grab a crayon, some colored pencils or markers, and get to it. It's said that coloring is therapeutic. We just know it's fun. With great pleasure, we present the epic art inside this book for you. Doodle on. And then it has Ronnie Taco, a.k.a. OCAT, O-K-A-T. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's OCAT, or just put in Doodlers, and you'll find OCAT, the editor and founder of Doodlers Anonymous. But please, guys, seriously, it's an awesome blog. I think I have followed it since 2008. It's awesome. So go check out their blog. If you like what I'm getting ready to show you in here, you will love the Doodlers Anonymous blog. If someone has a link, feel free to put it in there, and I will, let me make a note of that to put the Doodlers Anonymous blog link in the description. Okay? So, and then it also says with the asterisk, show off your colors. Snap pictures of your color pages and tag them on Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr with the hashtag Doodlers Anonymous. But the editor and founder is OKAT on Instagram. But if you put in Doodlers Anonymous, you'll find everybody. Okay. Oh, good, Vicky. Okay, Vicky found it on Amazon. Like I said, I found it. I was happy to have it actually in Doodlers Anonymous. Like I said, they've been around since 2008, and this is like I don't know that any of their other books and publication or color books have been put in. They've been put in books, but I don't know if they've been in bookstores. That's what I was trying to get at. Okay, so let me just do a quick little flip here, just so you can see. Again, every artist is named in the corner. Every artist has a little, their name in the corner of every page. And everyone is totally different because there's 90 artists. So I'm just going to do a quick flip here, just like if you were at the bookstore. But seriously, guys, this is awesome. It's an awesome book with tons of different types of. Here's the one that I did, and the speech bubble was blank, so I put Color Book Attic in there. Hey, Renee. Anybody else popping in? So I thought I would just do a quick little flip here and then pick something to color or start it, something, maybe something large like this where you can actually see. If I do something tiny, oh, I thought of Vicky. Vicky, look at this page. I thought of you, zombie aficionado. I thought of you when I saw this, Vicky. Oh, but anyway, here's a whole library. Look at that, it's awesome. Again, if I color something this little, unless I readjust the camera on the small tripod, like right on it, you won't be able to see. So I thought I'd pick something kind of large. But this was awesome. I just love this guy. They look like a Russian czar and not a czarness. Anyway, so they're just such fun. Awesome. Everyone's different. Again, just a quick little peek here. It's so totally worth $15.99, or maybe even a little cheaper if you have Amazon Prime. But I love to look at the books in the store, So everyone is different. Again, everyone has the artist name in the corner for each one. Look at the typewriter. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I know, Vicky, right? So just such cool, imaginative, we all love every bit of this, right? And the thing is then if you like the drawings that you see, then you have the artist's name to go, Google or find on Doodlers Anonymous, either one. So if you can go see if they have other artwork and blogs and, artwork for sale, if you really love their work. Look at this guy on the bike with the suitcases and the cat. Okay. Isn't that awesome? Oh, but anyway, I just think they're all great. Now, I did start one. There's one other one. Oh, here's the one I started. I started coloring the spokes in. I colored the spokes. They were just drawn spokes. So I colored them in black. Started coloring the balloon there. And again, nothing came through. And this is with these markers. Okay, I wanted to test some more. So, it's a fun book. Exactly, Vicky. Hey, PG Jamie. So, I did these I just kind of imagine, the bike looking like that. And so, I need to finish him. And that's all I colored in here. But look at this big coffee pot house. So, it's an awesome, fun book. And again, one of the reasons I like it is because look at all the tennis shoes piled up. The reason I really like it is because everyone's different. It's a different artist on every page. I draw, therefore I am. And then all the illustrators' credits here, again, they're on each page, but they do have websites. I'm not sure if some of them are .com, some are probably blogs. But so you can find them that way as well. So it's just a really cool, awesome book. So I wanted to give a shout out to Doodlers Anonymous because, like I said, their blog is awesome. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do a little bit of coloring. I'm not going to finish this one because it's kind of small. That astronaut was kind of quite big, or these characters. These characters are kind of cool. Maybe I'll just, no, I'm not going to do that one right now, Vicki. Hey, Carrie. You want to color the shoes, Carrie? Yeah, that was an awesome one, wasn't it? Let's see. Where's the shoes? Oh, look at the cat. No, why can't I find the shoes, Carrie? I thought it was toward the back on this side. There it is. Isn't that cool? Yeah, just a glance at their blog, it looks fun. I know, it is fun. You want to see a cityscape? You know what? I gave that travel book to the travel color book to Anita, Paula. Let's get her to color one for us. Let's get Miss Anita K. You color us in a cityscape, please. Okay, so I think what I want to do is, where's that astronaut? Because it'll show up. This one's cute though, the little girl. She's wearing fishy jammies. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So, because I thought you could see it. You know, I mean, you won't be able to see every little star or something that I color in. I could probably zoom in or drop the camera just a little. Let's see. Let me just drop the camera a little. Okay. Here we go. It's a little angly now, but I think it'll work. So I'll try to tell you, I know you'll hear me repeat the same things. Don't, make sure it's dry before you add color pencil and all that. But I just talk it out as I'm doing it. Okay, yeah, the kitty, yeah. Okay, so everybody's commented on the kitty knot. Is that how you would say it, Jamie? The kitty knot, the astronaut and the kitty knot. I know. Okay, so again, I probably will not finish this page. I mean, this page probably took me over an hour because it's not a lot to it, but this probably took me over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But again, guys, I say it over and over. I'm about the process. I mean, unless it's a commission where I have to really crank it out and get it done, I'm about the process. I take it my time. I enjoy it. I don't rush it, and I have to sometimes rush when I'm doing streams because I'm limited in my time. I sometimes want to hurry up and get something done to show you a final result. But when I'm just coloring or doing any sketching, drawing, doing my sketchy faces or anything like that, it's just, I enjoy the process. No, there's no color in any of this. No, I put that in there. I put the color, they had a couple little tiny lines, like next to a couple of the leaves, they had a couple little lines. So I just added some Neil color washes. And again, one of the things that's really nice about this color book is the thickness of the paper. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's probably, I'm guessing 90 weight. But don't quote me on that. I don't know. But it's thicker than any other color book I have. Okay. Yeah, and I added the words. Color book addict. It was a blank speech bubble. All right, so where's my astronaut and the kitty knot? Cat knot and astronaut. Look at that little face. And this one is done by Magda. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this last name. Let me look at it for a minute. Zimajowska. Zimijowska. Magda or Magda Zimi Jawalska. Let's see where she's from. Let's see if it's alphabetical. Yeah, they're alphabetical. That's nice. Thank you, Doodlers Anonymous, for putting them alphabetical so we can find them. Okay, she is at, oh good grief here. I'm not sure what country PL is, but she's at ZMIJOWSKA.PL. So I don't know if PL is Poland. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys know. But that's the artist that did this one. And that adorable cat. Oh, did you color? No, this background is already, the black was already here. The black was here, Jamie, on this. I've not colored, other than that one picture I showed you and the little balloon guy on the bicycle. I've not colored. The black that you see on all the pages I flipped through, that's already there. Which is nice, because then I can go in and add my stars. Well, this one's got stars, but I can add more stars if I want. So what I want to do, though, with this, let me find my water brush. Maybe some of those. I think I'll just probably try to stick with the Neo colors right now. So I just got a water brush. I still have water in here. I need a Kleenex because for using Neo colors, to me, the best way to clean your brush in between colors is a Kleenex. Better than a paper towel or anything. A Kleenex just cleans your brush right off. Love the face of the astronaut, yeah. Okay. So we can do that, his face. We can do a light color on him. We can do, you know, I mean, I haven't planned this out. This is all impromptu. Doodlers Anonymous impromptu coloring. And sometimes I don't like typical things. I like to do, you know, I don't know, just something different. For instance, now I'm going to go ahead and do his, if I do his face, we all know that there's a glass, you know, glass visor, whatever, over the face. A nice thing to do when you have glass, whether it's, you know, any kind of glass surface, is after you finish coloring it and everything, depending on what you used as a base, you can go over it with a white color pencil to make a shine, or even just a little streak of white acrylic paint to make it look like it's glass or shiny. What kind of water brush do you like? I like these. I think they're Pentel. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. The Pentel ones, because of the tips. We talked about this on another stream, but I don't remember. I think these are the Pentel ones at Hobby Lobby. I think they're like $10, $9.99. Now, I've tried the cheaper, buy 3 in a pack for $10, and the tips flare real easily. They don't stay in a nice point. The 3 for $10. This one's like $10 in itself. I have 2 of them. They're both exactly the same. I just have 2. And they're over at Hobby Lobby. They're not over in the craft section. They're over in the pens, pencils, the art pens and pencils. The calligraphy pens and all that. That's where this one is. At Hobby Lobby. Okay. So I think it's a Pentel. See how it has that kind of weird shape? Somebody corrected me before and I don't remember. But anyway. But buy the $10 one. It's better than the 3 for $10. That's just me. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and do him. Let's do him maybe, I don't know what nationality he could be. Let's see. Let's do a nice look because we want a shade. Okay, so what I'm going to do is and another thing is how I do my Neo colors. You can just color and then blend it off. But let me show you. Let me get a sample. You can just color like this and then blend it out. But sometimes it will leave marks where you can see where you've scratched it down. I just like to take it like this and paint with it. All right. Now, again, A couple things. This is not watercolor paper. You don't want to get this, like, you don't want to do a wet on wet. You don't want to get the face soaking wet, then start adding more and more water, because it's going to, especially in the larger areas, you're going to get it soaking through no matter even if it was 110-pound cardstock, okay? You don't want to get it saturated. The other thing is this is not watercolor paper, so if you, and these are not Copics, like Copic blending, you want to kind of keep it moving so that you keep it smooth, okay? See kind of how I'm going there? And I'm going to kind of get the shadows around the edge, under the eyes. But you get the feel for it after a while, how much water you can add, how many 5 to 10 seconds before you start having marks, so you know where to stop and not worry about if it's going to blend. So like you can see where I'm doing the shadows here first. If you have any questions, put them in caps. I'll try my best to answer. So this is just how I do my Neo colors. Again, we showed last week how you can use watercolors, kids watercolors, but kind of keep it moving and try not to over saturate. Let's get some dark in his ear and like a little light wash on it. But I'm going to go back over this after it's 100% dry and shade with color pencil. Okay. All right, no questions or anything. All right, let's see here. And then I'll just kind of blend that out, I think. Just so I can have a little bit of shadow, but I don't want it solid. A little shadow there. Okay, so I can tell, I can look at the paper, I can tell how far I can go with the water and stuff. Okay, so now I think I'm going to get a little bit lighter brown. Because I have all these colors, you know, I can do that. If you're using watercolors, you could blend it out. You know, you can blend out your own colors. So I'm going to just go in with a little bit of lighter colors here and there. Just a little bit lighter shade of kind of a golden brown there. Just so it's not a flat color. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you how I do it. Don't email me and say, oh, you told me not to do that. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do right there for now on the face. I'll let that 100% dry. Of course, I have the heat gun. We'll dry it with that shortly. Now, his hands are going to be in gloves, so we won't color that. Again, the best way for me that I found is just squeeze out a little water on a Kleenex. It just pulls it right off, better than a paper towel or anything else. Yes, they're Neo Color 2s, the water-soluble ones. Don't get now, nothing wrong with Neo Color 1s, the wax ones, but you can't blend color pencil over wax. Where's my little chart? Here's what happens when you go over Crayola crayons with a color pencil. It just doesn't go over wax, okay? All right, so I think I'm going to add kind of a blue-gray around where the glass is on both the cat and on him. And again, when this is dry, I can either add a white, like a little streak of white acrylic paint on there for showing like it's a helmet, like a glass helmet. Sorry, guys, I froze there for just a second with incoming mail. But I think I'm going to do like kind of maybe a blue-gray kind of color for the kind of the glass helmet part. Oh, let me get back down here. And this is like it's like my underpainting, okay? It's like the underpainting that I'll go back on top of with color pencil. And these last forever. I'm telling you, they're expensive, you know, when you get a big set. But I've had them for 2 years, and I use them I don't use them. I'll probably be using them more now that I'm using them in color books. But they're so concentrated. They just go and go and go. Okay, so here's an example. The cat here, see those little doodles there? That's like the shine on the helmet. So I'm going to do his little helmet the same color. But test them all out. Test out your particular book, whatever book you're working in, but also test out what each material does if you do plan on shading with color pencil. Okay? Whatever kind you use. So it's kind of subtle. See, it's subtle right now. My set has 84, and I think I got it on sale, maybe 50% off. I think it's like regularly a couple $100, but I get them at Blick. Get it at Blick when they have a sale. I think I got it for I don't know, 125. It was a birthday present to myself from my hubster. Okay. Take a sip of coffee. Now ask Carrie how much now in Canada. I don't know. Carrie, she bought it in the U.S. I think when she took a vacation. I'm not sure, but anyway, or had it anyway. How much was your set, Carrie, for 124 or something? And I don't know if Carrie got it at Blick or not. I don't even know if Carrie's still here. Hey, Sarah O. I love that tag, Sarah. Oh, let me grab it again. Where did I put it? I think I put it in a note. Oh, no, I didn't find. I'm gonna put Sarah O's little cute zombie. Sarah, go put this over on Doodlers Anonymous. Isn't that so cute? Oh, Vicky's bribing me for it. I'm not gonna give it up. Y'all can talk all you want. So if I missed anybody, thanks everybody for being here. We got 70-something people here. A couple of us, mine's doubled because I have a pop-out chat. Doodlers Anonymous is a blog that's been around since 2008, Sarah. If you're just coming in, I talked about it and read the intro and all that. So you can check out Doodlers Anonymous blog. And this is their color book with 90 different artists. Okay? So, all right. So I don't want to just do like silver. I don't want to just do silver and white and gray suit. He's an artist in space. If there was, we need to maybe write that in white here. Make our own speech bubble. Artist in space. You don't have to, remember, you're the boss of your page. You're the boss of your color book. You can do whatever you want. So I'm thinking that we need a speech bubble over here with a white. Let me see if my white or silver, white or silver. I just had it out. Here's the silver one. Just had it out yesterday because I signed my masks. If y'all remember my collage mask, I did finish. Rabbit trail. I did finish my masks. So here's this one. I finished all the inside, outside, and signed them all. So there's that one. This is my favorite, I think. So I varnished them all. There's my little people going up there. So this is the half mask, and put my name, signed them all, and everything on the inside. And then here's the last one. So I got them all done, signed. Oh, anyway, I said all that to say I had my silver pin out because I signed them in silver. So I got my mask done. Okay, so what I want to do is, let's see how this is going here. I think what I want to do is just turn this into a speech bubble. Let's turn this into a speech bubble. I might have to do it in white. I got silver. I might go back over. So we're going to put a spacey speech bubble. Where's my white? I could do it with pencil too. I could do it with white pencil. Now it looks like a little face with a hat and whiskers. I need to make this look like Now it does look like whiskers. It could be a cat in space. Okay, we're gonna do artist. Let's see if the silver. I'd have to go back over it with white. Oh, no, I'm not going to fit that in there. Let's go over here. Artist in. There we go. I don't know where my white one is. It's here somewhere. What do I do with it? Ah, here it is. Let's get it going here. Don't know if it'll make much difference on camera, but I can tell. So I'm going over the silver, so I gotta clean the pen off. Okay, that was fun. All right, artist in space. So that being said, he can wear whatever we want him to wear because he's an artist, and you know we can wear whatever we want. I think we will do. I'm leaning towards some purple. Leaning towards some purple with my blue. So let me pull out a few shades of purple that I might want. Again, this is just the underpainting for colors on top. And maybe just a pop of magenta. I think we're going to go with this. He could have invisible gloves. Invisigloves. Invisigloves, yeah. Yeah. So now, if you're watching this recording, believe me, everybody in the chat will have some creative something. If I see it scroll by, I'll call it out. So that was Jamie, APG Jamie. He could have on Invisigloves. They're going to have the whole story, tell you people. They'll have a whole story. Okay, so let's maybe make that part of another helmet of something. It could be, you know, something. We don't know yet, but we're going to have that as part of like a helmet colored in there too. Same color as the cat and the... I mean, it has some shooting star lines, but it kind of looks like cat whiskers too. Sweats is the artist's choice in this house. Well, hey, you know, he had to be in space, Janet. Okay, so I'm gonna just go with these 4 colors for now. We'll probably have some accent colors or something like that. But okay, so I'm gonna start with some of the like those bands. Okay, and again, you don't have to do everything in watercolor or neocolors or watercolor, whatever. You don't have to do every little bit. Like some of these tiny little knobs, I probably won't color them in watercolor because I can just, you know, get right in there with the color pencil. But again, for me, it's about the process. This is fun for me. This is fun for me. I could just as easily do the shading and all that without any paint on there. But I want to do it. I want to color it with my neocolor. So I'm gonna. I'm the boss of my page. Art bag. That's his art bag. That's good. See, we'll have a whole story here before this is done. I know it. All right, so let me just get a crack-a-lack in here a little bit. I'm going to just do some of the bands here in this purple. But, you know, we like stripes, we like colors, we like checks. We can make checks just because, or Zentangle. If you're a Zentangle, there's a lot of Zentangler girls here. If you like to Zentangle, go ahead and Zentangle in areas. You don't have to leave it like it is. Yes, I'm the bossy pants of my page. I gotta write that down. That's going to wing that book, Jamie. That has to go. For those of y'all that don't know, we have a wingnut book. When somebody says something quippy, clever, quotey, it goes in there. And like Denise, she tried to read it. Wait, let me get this down. APG, Jamie. Well, she called me, but I'm going to say, I am the bossy pants of my page. And for color books. Okay. So anyway, Denise tried to read some of our wingnut funnies in here, and she went, that doesn't make any sense. You definitely have to be here to understand wingnuts when they happen. Because later on, down the road, and today's date, 10/19, okay. Down the road, if I just picked this up and I went, I'm the bossy pants of my page. It's just not the same, right? It is not the same. Okay, so this is just full of quotes and notes, and I just stick them in whatever. Let's just pick a random one to show you. Okay, for instance, Pink Sherry said one day, 3 bears of deli paper. 3 bears of doesn't make any sense now. At least I don't remember it. But when she said it, it was wingnut worthy. Yes, Jamie, we know you love my daughter, Denise. You and Darcy Glam are all like BFFs. That's why you'll never visit unless Denise is here. Just kidding. Don't email me. Okay, Sunset Carol said, flocks and locks spa. Feather flocking day. So anyway, we're all the wingnuts. Okay. You too can be a wingnut. There's Sherry. Sherry's laughing. Jerry, maybe you remember what that was. I don't. Okay, so again, let me just stop real quick and let me just use, now I'm going to test it. I'm going to use a pen. So what I want to do is just come back here on like the contributors page or something, and I'm just going to do a little color in right there with this is the Faber-Castell medium pen, and it did not come through. Okay, it did not come through. Now, if I held it up to the light, I can see it. Okay, but it didn't come through. Now, if I sat here and went, did you like that? If I did that, it would probably go through. But I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to show you, like, I don't Zentangle, but let's just say you want to do something fun and be the bossy pants of your page. I'm going to make a little checkerboard here on his knee. Okay. And I'm going to color it in. Oh, I sounded like APG Jamie just then. I'm going to color it in. Okay, so if you're just joining us in a recording, we have a lot of fun here. We try to. Here and all the other streamers. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of us streamers. And links are open if y'all want to, tell new people here about your Ustream show, your YouTube, your blog, whatever. For me, I'm all about like sharing about other artists, and it makes me happy. It's the way I roll. I like promoting all artists, whatever they're doing. It doesn't have to be color books. It can be whatever we're doing at that moment. Whatever obsession. I mean, whatever timely artistic endeavor we are working on at the time. So again, I'm kind of just doing doing this kind of quick. I'm not bearing down and color, 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 color. I'm not going to, so it's not going to go through if I'm careful. Now you have to test it because this, like I said, this color book is very, pages are thick. Hey, Trina. Oh, Trina, I saw you sent me an email. I haven't got back to you yet. I think it was you, Trina. Okay, so now do I want, I think I'll do this part down here in checkerboard. So be the boss of your page. If you want checkerboard pants, you can put checkerboard pants. Because you're bossy pants. Okay, so you get the idea, see? Now let's see, what can we do with the little kitty? Maybe we'll do a little checkerboard on his helmet, just a couple little bits. Just to kind of have him tied in with his daddy. His astronaut daddy. Because he's his little fur baby. So there we go. Let's go ahead and do it around the corner here. Let's do it on this side of the helmet too. See, because we're all doodlers at heart, right? And what perfect book to doodle in than Doodlers Anonymous, right? What perfect book to add your own doodles in. Okay. Just taking a look. Okay, that's all for now. All right, let's go back to the colors. I'm missing one here. Got one rolled away somewhere. I had 4. Now I've got 3. Roll 2. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, back to, that was the darker one. I'm going to put a couple little other areas here. Let's see, maybe right there. One knee and one sock checkerboard, yes. Nothing's matching here. Nothing matches on these arms. Okay, so let's go back down here to the little kitty cat, and I'm going to add some little striped parts on his little outfit too. And again, you don't need to, color every little bit in like I'm doing here with, water-soluble stuff, whether it's watercolor or whatever. It's just that for me, it's fun. It's like fun. I did see something, I'll tell you this, when I went to, Michael's. I'm going to have to go back and get this. When I was standing in line, it was quite a lot of people there that day. Saturday. I was standing in line, and you know how they have all the little toys and like buy the last minute purchases, at the long line before you get up to the checkout counter. They had, and maybe I shouldn't tell you, I should just buy one and have it show up. What I got to tell you, I can't not. It's about this long, and it's like a cat paw on a stick. There were these 2 little boys, maybe 3 and 4, with their parents behind me, and the parents going, quit touching, stop touching, quit touching. And so it's like, it's about this big, but it's fur, it's round, and at the end here, it looked like literally like a leather, it was like pleather, right? Little pads, little cat pads, okay? And it was like this, and then down here they had a handle, and when you push the little button, the little hand up here would do this. So you'd push the button, and the hand would go. So I got right up in the little kid's face and went, with the little paw, and they just love that. So anyway, it's about as big as a ruler here. And again, it has little pads, little cat pads. It looks like a paw. It's fur covered. So it's like a cat arm with one little paw, and you push the little button and it just like it does this at you. I'm going to have to go back and get that. It is so cute. So I'll have to get that and then just like randomly go at you guys. I should have surprised you, but you know, I can't keep a secret. All right. We're not getting very far, are we? Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a magenta for the bulk of his suit. You know, like the main color of his suit. I mean, we'll have maybe some more checkerboard or something. I don't know, but I'm going to just go ahead and go with magenta. And then we'll add some more of that blue in there. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do magenta and this blue. It'll look awesome when we start shading it, if we ever get to that part. So thanks everybody for being here. Hope you're having a good day. It's all about the process. It's about the destination. Give the cat pod a sock monkey. Yes, yeah. Well, you know, in case y'all don't know about our other toys around here. Especially, and you know, around Christmas time, you'll see more appearances of Eileen the Enabler Elf. And we have Bridgeton, the sock monkey. These are like our mascots around here. That's Bridgeton. They sit right over here in my chair. I don't know if Anita noticed it when she was here. They sit right over there in the chair. Sewn on patch. Yes, that's Bridgeton. That's the name of the sock monkey because Bridgeton's the one that gave it to me. It was so cute. I got an Amazon package one day and went, who sent me some from Amazon? I opened it up. I knew exactly who it was from. So anyway, all right, so let's get back to a little bit more coloring because I want to get into some shading. We've been here an hour and this is all we've done. Well, we talked about the book though, so yeah, we talked about the book. So, all right, but it's kind of nice. It's easy to kind of get around some of the little doolollies, if you want to call them that, little knobs and stuff. With let's see. I'm going to go under here, some of these little triangles with the blue. The blue or purple. Kind of a lilac kind of. But I want to get into a little bit of color pencil before we have to go. And I think I'll just carry that magenta right into there. There we go. Hey, Darcy. We are coloring today in the Doodlers Anonymous just released color book. And get a little bit more of his little suit here. And I have my paper towel, my Kleenex right over here next to me, and I'm just like coming over there and kind of cleaning it off a little. And you know what I think about when I'm doing this? I'm thinking, when the artist drew this, you know, did they have any kind of envision of what they thought, you know, somebody would color it like, you know? And let's just do a couple of stripes here. Okay. Do a little bit more on his helmet up here. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see. See how it has a watercolor look? Like right there, you can really tell. You would like to get some red and yellow knobs? You want him to have red and yellow knobs? I think I'm going to color the cat more on the, because I don't want it to like match, but maybe they should, because, you know, he's got the little leash there. It would be kind of cute. I mean, they have the glass helmet. That's why I went with that blue-gray for the helmet, but do I want them to... We'll go with orange and yellow for the cat, Jamie, because Jamie's wanting some. Is that what you said? Some red and yellow knobs. Okay, Kathy said something. I must have missed the point of the... Kathy said she's having a lawyer look over the contract before I sign anything. I don't know what she's talking about. I missed the beginning of that. I don't know. I think maybe we'll go with blue. Let's go with some blues. Let's just get a purple, a dark, you know, some purpley blues here maybe. A couple of shades of, we'll go with 3 shades of, maybe there's some purple like in there. But we're going to do the cat with more blue. Oh, that's really blue. Let's go with this blue. I think I want more blue than teal. For his little suit. Well, I don't know. That looks like it's a good color for a shadow there. I think we'll go with that tealy color. And then add just a little bit of the lighter blue. Because you can mix colors, because you're the boss of the page. And then I think I'll stop and do some shading, just so you can see some, you know, color pencil shading before we run out of time. I'm just using a couple of blues, so it's not all like flat one color. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go back and get that little cat paw. I think I want, let's see, I think I want some purple. Oh, some of these little details here. Okay. Cute. Oh, the contract to join the Hot Mess art group. You won't be able to read it. It'll be a hot mess. Okay, so there's the colors I'm kind of using for now. All right, let me go ahead and dry this. Let me clean off my brush here. Not that I won't go back in there with more, but I want to do a little bit of pencil stuff so you can kind of see some of that too. So I'm going to take the heat gun. Remember, have it dry before you go on any kind of color book or any kind of work that you've got wet before you go in there with color pencil on top of it. Heat gun. Oh, good, Sarah. Good. And it doesn't hurt to dry the back too, just to make sure that it's, completely dry. If y'all miss seeing this whole flip through of this book, I did a flip through, kind of a gentle flip through at the beginning of the show. Again, it's the Doodlers Anonymous Epic Color Book. Check out their blog. You'll love it. Okay. So any questions? You're welcome, Sarah. All right. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to, I want to keep these colors together because I will be probably using them again. So I'm just going to set them sideways in here, not file them back because I want to use those same colors, but I want to get this out of my way. And so now what I'll do is I'll come over here. Oh, and always put some kind of a cardstock. This is just 110 weight cardstock, but always put something behind your color book page, not even necessarily so that something doesn't go through, but when you're coloring with color pencil, you're bearing down on it, and you'll be able to tell some, depending on how much pressure you put, on the back side where the feel of the pencil, but you don't want to have to mark into the next page either. So it's just best to have something in between. And then also, if you're coloring, like let's say these two pages were colored and I want to color this page, it's best to have something in between it as well so that when you're pushing down on this, you're not transferring the pencil from one page to the other on the back side, because that's real easy to do. Coloring on here, and then you're transferring stuff that from these two color pages. So it's best to have something in between your pages when you're coloring. Yeah, watercolor pencils, exactly. I did a demo with the ink tints, but you can use your watercolor pencils, whatever kind of pencils. And also, the thing about the Neo colors, Orla, you said you don't have too many, but remember I showed last week, maybe you weren't here, but you can take a porcelain tray, and let's just say you had just a red and a yellow. Let's say you had such a simple set, you didn't even have an orange color. Well, just some kind of it can be a watercolor tray, something, a non-porous, to mix on. But Neo colors are great for mixing. Okay, so you can they blend they mix great, just like a watercolor. See? And it cleans right up off of porcelain too. So, okay. So don't be afraid to mix your own colors if you don't have tons of them. All right. So onto the color pencils. Let me pull some. I have some right here. So I'm going to pull out probably a white. Move this over here. And let me get out my purples and grays. Let's see, there's blues. All right, so I'm going to get out probably a magenta or a mulberry or both. Let's see, because one's a little darker than the other. So I'm going to get a couple of shades of magenta. Again, you can blend. You don't have to have all these colors. You know, I have these. This is for, you know, I do color pencil portrait commissions, and that's what I use. So I've got practically every color more than once. But yeah, don't mess up the eyeball head guy on the next page. Vicky's going to want me to color that one for her. I know. I know. Okay, so on a couple magentas, and I have my white, and I know I'll probably maybe want to shade, just depending on how dark I can get with that. But now I want to get into my purples. I'm probably going to want a light magenta, a light lilac for blending. Maybe even a lighter one. Let's go with 2. You don't have to have this many. I'm just saying, this is my process. I enjoy the process. And let's see what's the darker purples. There's my grays. Here we go. These are my browns. Where's my dark purples? Oh, here we go. Then I'll just want probably a Imperial Violet. Okay, let's just stick with those for now. Just different shades of the, oh, and I am going to need that blue. Let's see. I'll probably want a gray. Let's see. No, not that one. Where are my blue? Okay, let's go. Oh, here we go. I'm probably going to want a dark gray and a light. No, that's not the color. This is the color I want, but it's a new one. It's not sharpened, so I have to sharpen it. Oh, wait, here's one sharpened. Close enough. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to start shading with some of these. You got a set of Kohinoor Tri-Tone pencils. They're so much fun. I know, Sarah, isn't it? We're all at, I'm telling you, people. Where's my page that I did already? Here. Color Book Addict. I'm telling you. Okay, so what I usually do with it on a color book page. Now, it's different what I'm doing. Don't compare what I'm doing here with like how I do my portrait demos. You know, don't, because I totally different. Well, not totally, but different. Okay, so I do need to sharpen a couple of these. And I do like using the sharp pencil. They're soft pencils anyway, but I do like a good point to get into detail. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start with the dark purple, and that one does need to be sharpened too. Bye, Orla! Okay, so I just start like shading like under the helmet, and then this is smooth, so it's going on like pretty, easy. And I just kind of blend it out. I don't know. I don't know if I can zoom in. We can try. Let's go ahead and try to zoom in one. It might pixelate some. But let's see. I'll zoom in 2. It's autofocus. Where's my little thing? This will help me autofocus it. Maybe there we go. Okay, so get a like shadow part, and again, I'm going to say this again because not that y'all ever say anything like that, but I'm not trying to say you adults don't even know how to color. I don't ever want to sound condescending to you guys. I don't mean any kind of explanation to sound that way. I just explain what I'm thinking while I'm doing something. So I'm really talking to myself. I'm talking to Vern. You know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, Vicki, you need to update your color book. Vicki made a color book album too. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of getting a darker area and then lighter, 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 lighter. And that's how you can kind of shade it out. Okay, so I'm just shading it out without blending another color yet. Okay. Under these little dials is going to probably be darker. And just kind of think of where the shadows will be, right under the helmet. And then just kind of lightly blend it. And I know y'all have said before, no, you don't sound that way. Well, I just want to make sure. Anybody new watching, I'm not trying to act like y'all don't know how to color. Okay? And again, I could have done this with another one of the shades of purple. It doesn't have to be, you know, almost the exact same color. Okay. And also notice in color books where they put things, like this one doesn't have a lot of shading, but a lot of times you'll have things that have like lines that indicate where they shade in the black and white. And that can help you know where to shade too if you're not used to it. Okay, around the corner here, it's going around the side, so it's going to be darker over on that side. Right here close to his arm or under his body. It's going to be a little shadow here. And this does help you with your color blending, your color combinations. Color books do help you with your shading, your blending, your colors. It helps you with all of that. So don't let anybody, yeah, you're the boss. You're the bossy pants. Don't let anybody tell you you're coloring in color books. No, no, no. Don't let anybody tell you that. Just smile. And like, you know, if we had like holsters, we'd be whipping out those pencils and crayons. Oh. But I never care if what people say about stuff like that anyway. But some people do care. Some people do care. Okay, but I know what I want to show you. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of put a little bit up here. I'm just going to kind of, you can color over the whole thing. You can color over the whole section that you base coated if you want. I mean, in some areas you might want to, but what I want to show you here is what I like about a base coat is because then you can get in there with white and you can blend and the highlights and all that. See, I'm just blending out that to make it like really blended with the white. Now, it doesn't do it as well. Remember, acrylic paint is your best. If you want the hot white, remember here, let me show you. Remember I showed you here. Here is white pencil on acrylic, and here is white on the Neo. So see, it's not near as vibrant. I'm trying to get them right next to each other. It's not near as vibrant, but it's okay. But nothing you're not going to get a good light color over a color as you will on acrylic. And you won't, especially even on a color pencil. Okay, remember, you can blend on the color pencil really well, but you're not going to get that going over color pencil. Now, also, I just went in color pencil, the blue. See how my white got, oops, see how the white picked up the blue? That's why you see this right here. I'm always cleaning off the tips of my pencil. Because if you pick up that blue, if I went in here right now on his face, with that, I'd have a blue mark there. Be going for a heat gun. No emergency. no mercy. Okay. I hear that. Oh, but you know, y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I mean. You know, people go, what do you mean? You're an artist and you're coloring in a color book? People just don't get it, do they? They just don't get it. But seriously, you will learn a lot about color, blending, your highlights, your shadow, all that. You learn a lot. Okay, so let me go with the magenta here. And I might just cover that whole area because I want it darker than his sleeve here. So, but it's all, to me, this is all about the process. And again, I don't care how long it takes. I mean, if I have other things to do, if I'm working on a commission piece, I'm not going to stop and color. I might, take a break and color, but I'm not going to spend hours coloring. It just depends on how much time you have and how much you want to spend on it. But it is practice for color pencil, for sure. And then I might want a little bit, make sure my white's cleaned off there. Blend that in a little. But I don't really ever bear down hard. I don't even have to bear down to get that dark color. It's just the paper is picking it up, and every paper is going to be different. But you don't really want to smack down on your color pencil. It's better to do lots of layers, gentle layers, than it is to like bear down, because then you get the wax buildup. Dr. Dee Dee, you are my brain doctor. Trina. Okay, so I'm gonna. But if y'all got anything going, again, I try to make y'all feel comfortable about sharing. We never really have a problem with spammers here or anything like that. And, we're all about sharing. If someone does have a new Etsy store, selling something new, want to promote something, I'm all about letting everybody share and stuff. Because we don't really have that problem with people coming in here just to spam. We have, just a great group of people. So anybody that's listening and watching the recordings and you want to, come and check it out. Everybody's really friendly, really, really friendly. Just not a lot of drama. As Paula, as Barb says, it's drama-free Friday. But we kind of like it that way all the time. We all kind of like a time of just drama-free. We keep it that way. That's pretty much like the only rules that any of us have. No drama and no, we're not, I don't know how Paula puts it. She always says it very well on her show. We're not going to be, we're just not going to be mean. We'll put it that way. Monday's not drama. Well, for Carrie, you got your own, you got drama going on. We know it's you got a lot going on. But most of us try to kind of keep it low. We want to kind of have just like a break, because there's always drama, right? Somewhere. As Barb says, there's always drama somewhere in the world. Okay, so you can kind of see some of the shading there. But I can also go in there. It doesn't have to just stay that magenta color. I can go in there with, let's go in there with the blue so maybe you can see that a little better. You can go in there and add another layer of another color just so it's not one flat color. I don't know if that shows up. But you can kind of see the blue over the magenta. It's just, color books are a great way to practice what pencils will do. Yes, you can. Darcy, share your link to your Halloween skull clock. Feel free. Darcy works with Paper Artsy, and she has a line of rubber stamps. And now our Dana is working with Paper Artsy as well. And so you can put Paper Artsy link in there too, Darcy. They're over in UK. We have quite a few Canadians, UK, a few Australians. I never get to make it to Jen's stream hardly. So I'm just kind of going a little here and there, and I'm just adding a little bit of blue in the purple. It doesn't have to just be one color. I mean, make some interest by adding other colors in there. Hope that shows up. I think I need this magenta. There we go. It's a little brighter. I'll cross hatch in some blue. Practice the way, you know, when you go over other colors, depending on if you go sideways and cross hatch. I mean, it all gives you different layers. Gives you different layering effects. So, can you see some of the blue in the inside the magenta? Streams are much more fun than real life. Yeah, because we have our fibs. For those of y'all that don't know, fibs are friends in the box. And as far as I know, our AJ is the one that coined that phrase. Friends in the box, fibs. So I'm also blending out. I'm going over some of the dark purple with the blue, and it's blending out any of the color book, like, the color pencil marks, you know, which there's nothing wrong. If you like the textury look of a color pencil, you know, I'm just kind of trying to blend it as much as I can just to show y'all. All right, let's see. Go back with a kind of a very, very light to blend with. Kind of blend it in. Blend out the pencil marks. Again, this is great practice for using your color pencils. You know, what better place to practice than in a color book, for goodness sake. Right. So I'm just finding areas that need blending. Oh, and someone did ask me about like some of the dark areas, like the black areas, if you go over them, like with a pencil and they get kind of grayed down. Well, I don't have any problem going back in there with either a pen or, depending on the area, like this big area here, I would use pencil. But if you want to get some of those dark lines back, go in there with a pen and get those dark lines back. If you want those black areas to be sharp, then go back over them with a pen. Like I said, the belt here, I haven't colored anything over, but I would probably just go back over that with a pencil. But make sure whatever pen you use, it's not going through. Because this, a Faber-Castell Pitt, will probably go through on some color book pages. These pages in this book are nice and thick. Hey, Colleen, anybody else popping in? I said hi, Kathy. Okay, so like in his sleeves there, I've gone over with some purple and I want to pop that black back out. So some of those little lines, anything that you want to, you know, get dark again. A Pitt pen is great because it's permanent. A Sharpie is permanent, but a Sharpie might go through, well, probably would go through anything except maybe not this. But, okay, so I think I want that artist in space to be more pencily. Let me go ahead and sharpen my white real well. And where I went over it with pen, it's just not sharp, it's not popping out enough where it says artist in space. I'm going to go back over that. Oh, there we go, it's breaking. Go over the letters with white pencil because it'll be brighter. Okay, I think I got a sharp side there to make it like really a little bit of just kind of like that. And of course, you could go in there with your white pen or even a, what do you call it, paint. Okay, just kind of like that better. I like the look of the pencil in this area rather than a sharp pencil line. Okay. Like the color, seeing the colors come together. Yeah, I know, right? It's fun. That looks like another, yeah, well, that's what at first I thought it could be like a speech bubble or another planet. And because it already had a little star there with like shooting star lines, it started looking like cat whiskers. So I added a couple more. So it's whatever your imagination. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a magenta leash here in the pencil. And again, if you want it sharp in there, you're going to have a nice sharp pencil. Or go in there with, you know, other markers. Uh-oh, I lost a lid there. Like these I showed earlier, these are just the cheap Recollection brand that I got for $4.99, $4.99. Cheap little basic colors, brush tip markers. Okay, let me sharpen again. So I do kind of, I don't want to say I want to hurry, but I want to get a little bit more done here. Make sure I stay in camera because I'm so zoomed in. So it's about the process. Just like we had a checkerboard there. Zentangle in there. If you're a Zentangler. I mean, what better book to doodle in than the Doodler book, right? If you're going to doodle in any of your color books, it should be Doodlers Anonymous. Make sure I'm in camera. Paula said something about how often I turn my pencil, and I never really thought about it, but she said she watched me one day, and almost every stroke I'm turning the pencil, and I never really noticed that before. But now I'm like starting to be more of aware of it because Paula said something about it. She goes, "You turn it every time," and I never really thought about it because it keeps the pencil sharp. So every time every time I'm going like this, I'm turning the pencil a little, like a quarter turn. And I'm not even thinking about it. So when Paula asked about that, I went, "What? What are you talking about? How many times do I turn my pencil?" Never thought about it. But she said she watched it one time, and I do. And everybody probably does. They're probably constantly turning their pencil to keep it sharp. I know, I've got tons of pencil sharpeners. I've tried every one on the market, and I'm not kidding, except electric ones. And to me, I like have a thing against electric pencil sharpeners because they eat your pencil so quick. You know, you pay between $2 and $5 and $6 for the more expensive ones per pencil. You don't want to grind that baby down. Now, technically, if you really wanted to be, you know, you should sharpen it with a knife, but that's too time consuming for me. So now I'm just getting in some of these little areas that I didn't even have any Neocolor underpainting there. And then I just found, now I know a lot of y'all have known about it. Let me see if the name of it is. There's a color book group on I mean, there's probably more than one. Oh, here's Cameron's. Okay, now I might flash the camera out, but I want to show y'all Cameron's drawing. Here's the drawing he's working on. Let's see if I can get it to not glare out. You can't see the skin tones. I'm trying to, oops, get it back. You can't see the flesh color on my phone. I'm trying to tilt it so you can see there. That's probably the best I can show you. This is a drawing Cam's doing for, the lips aren't showing up. It's much more flesh color with tan shading, but I can't get it to show up. There's probably the best I can do. But this is a drawing he's working on for, he's in there, that's pretty good. But that's my 16-year-old grandson's drawing. Oh, I was going to look up the Facebook group. Hang on. Oh, let me get the focus back. There we go. The color book group that I found a couple weeks ago. Romy said she uses a wide makeup sharpener for the soft color. The one made for the soft eye makeup on her Prismas. No breakage and less waste because the point's shorter. I've tried a couple of those, Ro, but maybe I should look into, I do have all kinds of makeup sharpeners too. I might even have one of those ones for the wide makeup pencil, the wide ones. Yeah, I know. Isn't it great? Let me see if I can find the name of it. It's called What is the name of the color book group? Coloring Books for Adults. That's the name of the color book group. And I just found it a couple weeks ago. I think I found it through Vicky. I think Vicky was, she said that she was a member of some color book groups, so I looked in her group thing, her groups that she's a member of. And so that's how I found it. I think it was through Vicky. I'm pretty sure. Just one from, okay. Yeah, well, I'll have to, I know I have them around here, but so what she's saying is that you want the kind of sharpener that's going to make the shorter, stumpier point rather than a sharpener that gets them long and pointy. They're like a little stubbier sharpener. Yeah. All right. It'll sharpen shorter. But the thing is Prismacolor has a quality control issue, and I'm not the only one that says it. And everybody else has problems with it too. And everybody goes, well, you're not sharpening it right, not holding it right. You're using the wrong sharpener. No. The main thing you want to look for in Prismacolor is making sure that and I know it's not lead, make sure that the pigment is centered in the pencil. That is your best hedge against breakage. Make sure the lead is centered in the wood. Because if it's off to the side, you can see it. You can spot it right off. When I was at Blick's a few weeks ago, my closer Blick, it's not a big Blick. It's not like the Savannah one. But and I called the person over. I said, do you know how to check your color pencils to make sure they have good quality? He goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, look at, and they're all sitting in the shelf like this. You see the ends of them all. I said, look at all the pencils there. I said, look at this. Look at where this one's really off. Look how much that one's off. Can you see? Even though it's got some paint on it. I said, look at the barrels and look at the lead. And he goes, oh yeah, I see. So see look how obvious that one is. That's terrible right there. See that? See how off center that is? That's what you want to avoid right there. Avoid that. Because when you sharpen it, they're breaking because it's not centered. You're sharpening on an angle. So avoid that. If you buy them individually. Now, if you buy them online or buy them in sets, you're at the mercy of Prismacolor. But I still can't help it. Yeah, I know. I still love my Prismacolors. I can't help it, So I'm going to go in here and do a little bit more darker purple over the magenta here. But, you'd think Prismacolor I see everybody that uses Prismacolor regularly complain about it. And you'd think Prismacolor get a clue. You'd think they'd get a clue. But I guess they figure people are still going to use them regardless of the poor quality. But there'll come a day we'll be paying $5 and $6 for those Caran d'Ache Luminesce, if that's how you say it. There'll come a day we'll be so frustrated. We'll say, okay, it's worth it to pay $5 a pencil. I don't know. So I'm just going back and forth and just kind of, just, I don't work on one area and just stay in that area. I'm all over. I'm all over it. And I do hold my breath. And I know I've said this before. Hubster teases me. He doesn't anymore because he knows. But, there was a few years, that he would say, why do you moan when you do artwork? What are you talking about? Moan. He goes, you're sitting there going, oh, oh. Well, you're arting. I go, I am? He goes, yeah. And so I'm holding my breath is what it is. I'm holding my breath, and then I exhale a little bit, like, like that. And so it sounds. He thinks that it was funny that I would moan while I was arting. I'm not moaning, honey. Yeah. Now that's the thing about the electric pencil sharpeners. They will chew your pencil. You gotta. I don't know. I would have to look a lot of reviews over electric pencil sharpeners before I invested in a nice electric pencil sharpener that was guaranteed not to eat my pencils. See, I just did it again. I heard myself like that. All right, and I think I'll put a little bit of blue in that. So I hope y'all kind of got an idea of some, I'll post this page when I'm done with it. I don't know if I'll finish it today or what, I don't plan out finishing color book pages. I do have to still do my Inktober for today, and I do have 3 portraits to do this week. I want to do one for Gold Rush. Oh, Gold Rush. Don't tell anybody. For those of y'all that know, I love the show Gold Rush. And last season, I did all the crews. I might have missed 1 or 2 on Tony Beats' crew. A couple of his guys that they don't show very often. But I did 25, I think, last season. And they posted quite a few of them on their Facebook page and got a lot of looks and a lot of likes, thousands actually. So I was really sad. And I didn't do it for that either. I mean, I didn't think that they would post them on their Facebook page. I just love the show. And I really like the guys, so I would do, their portraits. And they really, really liked them. And they talked. And this last week, when the new season started last Friday, I'm tweeting with them all while they're watching the show too, because the season's already been filmed, right? The Gold Rush season, actual mining, has been filmed, and they're done mining for the season. And so now they tweet with us and stuff. It's just a lot of fun because it fascinates me what they go through to mine gold. And so anyway, I just love the show, love the personalities, I love the characters, Parker and his old granddad. And so anyway, I drew like all the crew except maybe 1 or 2 last season. And now this season they have some new ones, including one of the father and son team. The grandson is, I think he's probably 17 or something like that, has joined the Hoffman team. And so I want to draw him. He's a cute young guy. And so I want to draw him hopefully by Friday. But I've got to get in touch with his dad to ask him what color his eyes are, because I can't tell. On the only good picture that I have of him, His name is Hunter, and I can't tell what color his eyes are. So I want to make sure and put the right color. It's been on for 4 or 5 years, a couple of seasons. Oh, they overlap the year. I think it's been on like 4 or 5 years. I forget now. I know it goes back to 2011, and now we're in 15. So anyway, but I love that show. I love all the guys. They're all. I mean, even the crusty Tony. I don't know. I enjoy it, Everybody just, we all have our favorite shows, and some of us all tweet together during Survivor. But I love Gold Rush. So, okay, so I'm just blending out some of these little bands. Well, anyways, I said that to say I have 2 other portraits to do too, but that I want to do that Gold Rush one before Friday. But I have to get with Todd and see what color his son's eyes are, because I can't tell in the picture. Because it's kind of like he's kind of like squinting in the sun, so his eyes aren't like wide open. There's not a lot of pictures of him out there yet, and so I have to go with what's out there. Yeah. Yeah. By how grown Parker is now. Exactly. Exactly. And I've shown, and if y'all want to see all the pictures I've done, I have a Facebook album of just in my personal Facebook, of all the ones I've drawn. They're all and it's public, so anybody can go look at it. So if y'all are watching this and want to go see all my drawings of the Gold Rush crew. Oh, so I was going to say, this last Friday, I was watching, talking to the producer and everybody. They all tweet and everything. And so I showed, not all of them, but I showed a few of the ones whenever that, like for instance, when Parker and his granddad were on the show, I would post the picture of Parker and his granddad. And like that. So it helps like get interest in the show, and other fans like seeing the drawings as well. So I just really, enjoy, like, I like to promote people I like, whether it's art or a TV show or whatever. I guess that's just the way I do, I like to promote. All right, so there we go. Get that little bit there. All right, so I'm just kind of looking it over, seeing if there's any, this area right here. This needs some more. A little bit more shadow under this arm here. And haven't even got down here into the pants yet, or into the cat yet, much. But you can see I just go back and forth from pencil to pencil. Sometimes the colors, like one color might go over all that whole area. You've just got to kind of play and blend. All right, so I think, guys, I wanted to do a little on the face. All right, let me get a couple of tans and a brown and a flesh color, and let me do a little bit on his skin. Maybe I should have started with that. All right, let's go with let's see what colors I'm going to pick here. This one, and maybe just a beige. Okay, so we're going to go with just peach, burnt ochre, and what is that one? Beige sienna. So I'm just going to go with these 3 colors, and white. Now, we're all talking about snow. Oh my gosh. We close down around Atlanta when there's snow. Okay, so I'm just going to now, in the areas where you can see where some of the dark is, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to just kind of reinforce some of the shading here. And again, a light touch. I'm not bearing down. I'm not, I want it to blend like, so you can kind of see. This is more in shadow over here on this side of his face. I'm using the side of the pencil just so it's an extra soft application. And I'm sure there's all kinds of other tutorials out there on YouTube for blending and faces, and Christy, Christy, I can't say her last name, Sobolinski. There we go. See, I can say it when I say it with a southern accent. She has a new color book out, e-book, an e-color book, and she does all girl faces. So, see, I want him to have, you know, a darker skin tone. Just to have it a little, mix it up a little. And I'm taking my time with the layers, especially on a face. I don't like go crazy with one or the other yet. All right, and I'm going to add another the peachy color over the top of that. It depends on how realistic you want it to look. If you don't, you know, you don't have to do this much work. But it's fun to practice. You know, fun to practice the blending and go both ways to make it so you have no lines. I think I want a little bit more peach in there just to highlight it. Let's see, a lighter peach. What's this one called? No, I don't want orange. That's too orange. Right, here we go. This one is just peach. So I just want to kind of blend everything together with the light peach. And I've shown you all that, like even when you do, you know, African American or, you know, darker skin tones, they're still light in those faces. They're still light in those faces. You know, when I do the sketchy faces, you see, you know, how there's so much more light in dark skin than people think if you don't really pay attention and look at skin tones. And it is, I'm not saying it's easy. No, it's not as easy, but you gotta, you know, it takes practice. Let's see if I got one handy. Where's my style? I got the style here. Where's my recent sketchbook? What do I do with it? Take it, oh, here it is. I think it's in this book. It might have been in the other one. Okay, so here's Mistel. Let's see how much light's in her face. And I know I'm kind of zoomed in way too much for this. Let me kind of back it up just a little. See? I don't know, it's not focusing very well. There we go. Kind of flashes in and out, but you can kind of see it. So, all right, so a little bit of highlight on his nose. Again, it's not going to be as bright as if this was acrylic. Okay, but it will give you some. And I'm also blending. And I don't know, let's see what color. Let's do a nice, pretty bronzy eye color. A little bit more shading around certain areas here, around the eyes, on this side of his face, under his nose, maybe a little around those smile lines, maybe under his lip right there. Talking to myself. So anyway, guys, I hope you all had fun just like looking at the new Doodlers Anonymous book, coloring a page, just doing another little coat of bronze on him. So you can see how it starts to, you know, more and more shape, the more layers you put on it. But I'm doing light layers, guys. Don't grind down. It's better to do lots of soft, gentle layers, because then it can blend. Once you get the waxy buildup, not that that's terribly, you know, don't email me, oh, I got waxy. The problem with waxy buildup, wax bloom, is then you can't blend anymore. You can't blend colors anymore. Once it starts getting just a wax film on everything. So it's better to do nice, easy, gentle blending and shading like this, even though it takes a little longer. But you'll be happier with the results. I saw somebody saying something about buying stuff, but it went rolling by. So, any questions or anything, guys, before we go? Thanks for being here for a couple hours of color book. I'll post the link to this when it's uploaded to YouTube. And y'all can kind of, you know, have it. Or whatever, when I finish it. And I mean, I'll also upload this picture when I finish it. But that may not be today. But you know, see the video. So let me back out with the camera zoom. Autofocus again. Oops. Oh, you were Sarah was blaming me for my recent purchases. Hey, Mac. Hi and bye. Yeah, that's because there's soft layers. Now, if I got about, you know, by the time I got 10 layers there, Vicki, it would be wax bloom for me too. But I'm doing it so gently. I mean, I'm doing it so soft in layers that it just doesn't build up, you know, that fast. Okay. I think I need a little shadow on this side of his nose. But he's so cute. I like him. Can make cheekbones, you know. Can give him more cheekbones. His little chin is under there. You can't really see his chin. You know. What color is this one? This is burnt ochre, and the colors that I was using, here's all the colors I was using for the face. Of course, white, peach. No, this one's peach, and this is light peach, I think. peach and light peach, and beige sienna. So those are the colors that I'm using on him. And look at all those light colors I'm using, and he's a dark-skinned guy. So now I can also go back in there with even darker shadows, with a darker brown. Let me grab where's my dark brown? Oh, that's the purples. Where's my dark browns? Oh, here we go. I could even go in here with, my black raspberries in there with the browns. That means I go with the purples. Got to watch the black raspberry when it's mixed in with the browns, and you got to watch indigo blue. You pick it up instead of black. Those are real easy to mix up. Another black cherry. See, I misfiled those. Okay, so here we go. Here's a dark brown. Let me sharpen it. Okay, so I can go in here like under his ear, but see, because I've had lots of light layers, I'm able to put another layer on there. Maybe inside of his ear, right along this shadow, like right along there. Maybe right up in here under his helmet. And again, then I'd go back and blend it a little more. Let's add a little bit more shadow around his eyes. Under his eye. So you can even add even more darker. I hope it's showing up now that I zoomed out. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I don't know, Jean's streaming at 4 today? Oh no, I haven't seen Jean around today. She's sleeping in since that vacation. Or visiting her mom, I should say. So there you go. You can kind of see. And then I'll go back in with another, the peach again, like maybe the medium peach. And then I'll blend that in so it's not a harsh line. Not a harsh line where I just put that dark brown. But I can tell I'm almost at the point where maybe I can get one more layer. I can just tell. It's not the way it feels, the way it's going on. I'm good for maybe one more layer after this peach before it's going to start wax blooming up. And all that does is just prevents you from blending more layers on top. Okay, it's not horrible if you see a little shine on there, but I try to avoid that. That's just me. But I can tell it's starting to not want to blend in certain areas because I've got lots of layers. And this paper here is like there's no tooth to it at all. There's no tooth to this paper. Okay, it's real slick, It's not like when I'm doing the Tone Tan Strathmore paper that has some tooth to it. But I gotta say, the quality of this paper as far as, thickness for a color book is really awesome. Because you can get a lot of layer. I mean, you can, it's not soaking through, Now again, I'm not saying it'll take a Copic, but there we go. All right, guys, so I think I'll leave it at that for now. Take a break and, like I said, start on some of the things. But I'll work on it next couple of days and post a picture when it's done. But I love the little cat. Again, we didn't really get much down into shading there, but hopefully you can see some shading and coloring and, it's a start. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad y'all had fun. We'll see y'all at Jean's later if y'all are around. Okay, guys. You're welcome. Bye. But they're great at doodling in particular. And their name is on each page. And one of the things I like about the book, I'm just going to kind of do a little review here. I'm petting it. I'm petting it, people. Yes, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, they all carry color books. But the bookstores have more, and of course Amazon is going to be having all kinds of ones that are on, pre-order and stuff like that. But I was so happy when I saw Doodlers Anonymous in Books A Million. Now, I haven't checked to see if it's at Barnes & Noble, but it was at my Books A Million, which is the closest of the two bookstores to me. It is a good size book. Let me give you some of the deets. Let me find a ruler. It is 8.5 by 11. Now, one of the things I really appreciate about this book, okay, it's not overly expensive. It's $15.95. It's got a write-up on the, how the artist and what they did and how, both there and on the inside. In the preface and, One of the things that I really, really like about it, though, is the thickness of the pages. It's thicker than most of your color books. It's thicker, I think. Let me compare it to the Celtic one. Hang on. I think this would be the most comparable in page weight, paper weight to it. Let me check. Okay. Nope, it's even thicker than that. This was the thickest paper that I had found in any color book was in these Art Therapy Celtic ones. These are $20. These are not, because it's hardback. This is even a little thicker. I can't tell you the exact weight. It feels like maybe 90. I don't know. This might be, I don't know. It's not 110. Listen to us. Okay, let's see. It's not 110. It's maybe 90. I don't know. But it's thicker. And what is nice about that, even though it is a double, it's not, it's front and back. So, if you wanted to frame one or something, you'd have to make a copy one. You can't just tear it out and use one. You'd have to use one or the other. But it doesn't go through with Neo colors or what barely wrinkle. This is the only page I've done so far. I think I've colored a couple of balloons on another one. Yes, I am recording. Thank you for asking, Vicki. It does not wrinkle. Now, again, it doesn't bother me like in the Anamorphia book. It does wrinkle when you get a whole page full of water on it because the animals are so big in that. That doesn't bother me that it wrinkles because by the time I get a layer of color pencil and everything done, you don't really notice the wrinkles, but that's just me. Okay, but this is so thick, it didn't go through at all. Now, can you use Copics on this? Probably not, okay? I don't have any Copics to test it out. We could maybe test a Sharpie or something. At least 15 different pencil sharpeners. It's not the sharpener. And I know there's many other artists that have talked about Prismacolor pencil quality. And the other one that I want to try, because Kathy Cass has said that they are awesome, is the Caran d'Ache Luminesse, I think is how you say it. But they're like $5 a pencil. So have I bought a set of those? No. I do have some of the Derwent. I have a few of the other brands. But for me, I just like the softness of the Prismacolor. Now again, one of these days I'll try the Caran d'Ache Luminesse, I think is what it is, but I just haven't yet. If Caran d'Ache is watching this and you want to sponsor to test, feel free. I'll try them all out. Give you an honest review. But in the meantime, I seriously though, Kathy Cass swears by them. So yeah. So do I mix them? Usually not. If I totally ran out of a lime green and I needed lime green and I didn't have my Prismacolor, I was out of a lime, then I would have no problem doing it. But I pretty much stick with the, one thing. But you can mix things. I can mix watercolor with these. Now again, let me see if I can find my little chart. We did this last week, showing my Prismacolor pencils, black and white, over the top of different mediums. You will not get the brightest white of a white, whatever kind of pencil, that you will on just acrylic craft paint. Now, I gotta say, I love my Americana craft paints. And when I went to Michael's this weekend, I said, well, you know what? I've not tested out this new Americana multi-surface satin. Now, gloss is not, this is not going to work with the gloss because it's shiny and your pencils aren't going to have the tooth. But I wanted to test this out. So I bought one. I bought one color just to test out how color pencils go over the new Americana multi-surface satin. Somebody here might have tried that already. I've not tried it. So I thought I'd do a little demo and see how a color pencil goes over the new satin. All right, so anyway, what I was getting at is nothing is as bright, whatever kind of color pencil, of white. Well, again, Kathy swears by the Caran d'Ache Luminesse. Yeah, I have some polychromes. I do have a small set of polychromes. Just for me, they're not as soft. I like this. Some people don't, like the Prisma Verithens. They're hard pencils and they're good for tiny details. I like the softer the pencil, the better. And so far, other than not trying the Luminesse, the Prismacolor are the softest that I've tried. This does have a shine to it, but so I'm not saying that you can use full-on alcohol-based markers in this, okay? But I use my Neo colors and water, my water brush, and I can't hardly feel any wrinkle at all. Okay? So your Neos are going to be there today, Janet? Okay. So I thought what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and maybe do a little base coat coloring with my Neo colors. Again, if I don't get to the stage where I color pencil, we'll see how far I get or if I do sections or what. Always make sure, no matter the paper, thick quality or whatever, make sure if you use watercolor, wet, medium, of any kind, and if you want to check back on my last video where I showed the charts where we did, the markers, the Neo colors, the ink tints, we did a little chart for, how each one reacts when you go over it with the color pencil. You've got to make sure it's dry. I cannot overstress that enough. Make sure if you use any kind of wet medium as you're whether it's acrylic, paint, watercolor, whatever it is, make sure it is dry before you start coloring and shading with color pencils. Okay, so I do have pictures of this close-up with all the colors, the Neo colors I used, and all the color pencils that I used. So if you just want to see the extent, probably, 8 to 10 of each. There's probably 8 to 10 of matching colors of the Neo Color 2 and the Prismacolor pencils to shade with. Also want to stress again that Neo Color 2s are the water soluble. Let me show you the thing here. Let me show you the cover. Neo Color 2 water soluble, and most of us here in the chat know that, but I just want to stress it again. If you've not ever used any of the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 1 or 2, the Neo Color 1 are wax based and they are not water soluble, and that because they're wax based, you're not going to be able to shade color pencil over a wax crayon. Like I showed you what happened when you try to go over just a regular Crayola crayon with a color pencil. You can't. You're trying to shade over wax. So the Neo Color 2s are water soluble, so it puts down a layer of watercolor, which can be shaded over. Okay? Oh, and I just saw Blondie here. I wanted to, I don't know if Xandra's here, but let me go ahead and put on the recording. Blondie, so appreciated getting one of your cards, Xandra. She said, please tell Xandra how much I loved her card. Well, this is the first time I've seen Blondie since I saw her message, and Xandra, if she's still here. So I just want to pass that on, Xandra, that Blondie loved your card. She had to email me a whole thing on it because she loved it so much. So just FYI. Okay, so, and again, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a live show with live people. We got, 60 some odd people here, and it's a live chat. And so if you're welcome to join us, Coffee and Art in the Morning. and come over. I'm at least here every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then sometimes impromptus. But if you follow me on Ustream, you should most times get an email alert when I go live. If you sign, if you click that option. Okay, so anyway, back to the Neocolor 2s. There are more than these 84 colors. I think Carrie has 120, 130 something set. I forget how many total they make. I'll never outuse these, just this many. And so anyway, they are highly concentrated, water-soluble crayons, and I've had them it'll be 2 years, I think, in February. I got them for my birthday 2 years ago. I try to kind of keep them sort of in color family, kind of close anyway, so I can pick them up real quick. If I need a pink or, whatever, I don't have to dig around for it. And that's how I do my color pencils, too. I do my color pencils, like here's the blue grays. I keep them, in bundles by color family. And so then if I want a color, I just, pick through here and find the, it's easier to do it if you have them in bundles like this. Like here's my greens like this. It's easier to find the colors like this than to have it just all loose in something where it's hard to find them. But that's just me. That's just the way I organize, right, Miss Anita? Oh, she had to leave? Okay. Thanks, Vicki. So anyway, I wanted to do maybe some Neocolor washes as an underpainting like I did here. And then I go back in and shade with color pencils. And again, this is all close up in my Facebook color book album and in my Instagram and Twitter. But let's go back a little bit to read a little bit more about the book again. Doodlers Anonymous, again, they have a blog. Epic coloring book. Illustrations by 90 artists. An extraordinary mashup of doodlers and drawings begging to be filled in with color. And I mean, they're just awesome. And everyone is different, because they're by different artists. So they're all different. Vicki says, I have my pencils and rubber bands like that since you showed yours. Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? Just to flip through the bundles. Travis said, do you mix different brands together by colors? Well, if you mean like different color pencils, I've done it a little bit, but I like Prismacolor. Even though there is a problem with the breakage and the wood quality just doesn't seem to be as good as it was when it was under Beryl or Sanford. Now it's Premier. Again, people have said, well, you're sharpening it wrong. Believe me, I've tried to sharpen, not turning the pencil, turning the sharpener. I have it. All right, there we go. All right, thanks, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Art in the Morning, and we're doing some little different segments here of different projects so that they're recorded separately. So the next thing I want to show is my newest color book. I told myself, if you're going to collect color books, let's collect them like one a week, not in bundles of 5 or whatever. Now, if you are like Colleen or Paula and you order off Amazon and get a bundle of 5 or 10 at a time, it's okay. Don't email me, people. Not that they would, but I tease them because I think Colleen has the greatest color book collection so far of anybody, but I haven't seen one of her shows for a while, so maybe she's even got more. So I decided that I'm only going to try my best to get one a week and be very selective and more discerning. We're going to be a color book connoisseur. And yeah, Angie Bell, my fairy treasure, she goes, I hear you, sister. She's another one. I think she buys in bulk. She even got the HSN Anna Griffin one. I saw that video. So if y'all want to see the inside of the Anna Griffin HSN color book, it comes with a color book and 2 smaller books, then head over to My Fairy Treasures, Angie Bell. She's bad. She's right up there with Eileen in the enabling section of the room. Mm-hmm. Yep, she is. Okay, so I got the Doodlers Anonymous Epic Coloring Book. Now, Doodlers Anonymous, they have had a blog for I don't know how long. I've had my blog for 10 years, and it's not like it's not like a writing blog. I've had my blog for 10 years, and basically I'll update it every couple weeks with the last couple weeks worth of art that I've done. I don't really write on my blog. It's just more of a photog blog. And so it's not like people flock over there or anything, but I'm proud to have had it for 10 years. Well, Doodlers Anonymous is one of those people that I have followed forever, their blog. So check out their blog too. But they've done color books and things for a long, long time. But this is the first time that I know of that they've actually had their books in the bookstores. So when I saw this in Books A Million, I had already bought my week's quota. I think I bought 2 that week. I'd already bought my week's quota for, so I said, well, I'm going to come back next weekend, which was this past weekend, and get this one. It is so fun because it is by multi-artists, kind of like, some of the other books that I've shown you that were like color books, like from the museum and stuff like that. But this is all doodler artists that doodle and do cool well, they do other things